I say, we need more friends in the workplace. And your first thought is, yes, but, and immediately your brain starts thinking of all the things that could go wrong. I've been doing friendships for over a decade now. I've written 2 books, gobs and gobs of YouTube videos. I've taught on stages. I've given interviews to the media. I've talked about friendship for a very, very long time, and I've yet to meet somebody who's against friendship. I've yet to meet anybody that says, man, you should not be talking about that. That is not something we should be encouraging. But now that I've decided that I want to really start talking about how we can do friendships in the place where we spend most of our time in our lives at work, I'm getting a lot of pushback. I'm getting a lot of people being like, oh, I don't know about that. If I ask them deep down on surveys, do you wish you had a best friend at work? Almost all of us are like, yes, I would like that. When I ask if we're comfortable with other people having friends at work, if we are fearful about it, if we wonder if it's inappropriate, we also are like, yes, 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 yes. We want it and we're scared of it. Understandable. That's true of many things in life, right? Many of the things that we want, we also know have the potential to hurt us, potentially. And so in so many places of our lives, we say, okay, I'm still going to do the job interview, even if I'm not going to get the job. I still want to date, even if not every single date turns out the exact way I want it. I'm still going to have kids, even though they might disappoint me and I might be tired at times. There's a lot of things in life that we say, I know the good that comes from that. And yes, there might be difficulties, but we'll figure it out, right? We'll heal. We'll make it through. We can do this. And yet when it comes to our friendships at work, I am hitting a lot of brick walls from people. A lot of people who are just like, yeah, and they list out those fears. Fear number 1, fear of favoritism. It makes sense. None of us want to feel like we're not getting something because they're friends, or that we're being left out, or that we're not being considered for that promotion or that project because they like somebody else better. None of us want that. We understand it. The second fear we have is the fear of what if we say something that's used against us? What if they gossip? What if we're betrayed by our information? It makes sense. None of us want that, right? Fear number 3 when it comes to our friendships at work. The fear of what if I have to reprimand or fire my friend? Awkward for sure. None of us are like, ooh, sign me up for that. I want that experience. Similarly, fear number 4 is what if I have to report to my best friend? What if we're friends and we bonded because we're venting and complaining about the boss and arguing about all these different things and feeling kind of frustrated, and all of a sudden that person gets promoted and now I have to report to them. And so we're just like, I don't know if I want that situation. And fear number 5, just to round out the list of our top 5 fears of friendships in the workplace, is the fear of losing the friend after we leave this job. We've been hurt before, haven't we? We've had friends at other jobs and then one or the other of us left and we realized the relationship didn't make it. And so a lot of us are saying, I'm not sure it's worth it. I'm not sure it's worth going through that loss again, that pain again. And so we look at a list like this, and of course, none of us are going to be like, oh, I want all of those things, right? Yeah, they're hard. They're painful. And yet here's the truth. The truth is that you can be against friendship. I can be against friendship at work. We can have a policy in the company that says no friends are allowed. We can have a company that even just is grumpy and has a culture that does nothing to foster friendships. And yet that doesn't do anything to eliminate these things from happening. You're still going to fear favoritism. Even if none of us are friends, I'm still going to get my feelings hurt that I think I should have been picked for that, but that person prefers that way, the way that person does their work. Or maybe it's because they understand each other better. Maybe I feel left out because of who I am, the minority situation I am bringing or experiencing or whatever. We all have these things that we're still going to feel left out. We're still not going to feel like the favorite person as often as we want to feel. Even if there's no friendship, the fear of favoritism is still going to be there. Even if there's no friendship, we're still not going to want to fire people and reprimand them. We're uncomfortable with the idea in general. But we're certainly, I would argue, it could be easier with a friend and somebody that we've built trust with and somebody that we've practiced communication with and somebody that we have been open and honest with in the past. That could be easier than somebody who's volatile, who is disrespectful, somebody who we don't know what motivates them, or we don't know how to best have this conversation. Yeah, we don't want to report to our friend maybe, but why wouldn't we want to report to and work for somebody that we love and trust and respect? Why would that feel less comfortable than somebody that we don't like or we don't respect or we don't think brings the right skills to the job? You look at this list, and the list of things happens whether we make friends or not. In fact, I would argue that the less friendships we have in an organization, the more these things happen. I think the better friendships we have in our workplaces, we are eliminating the risk of these fears the more by training and building expectations for healthy relationships at work, rather than avoiding the subject or pretending it's not happening or just saying it's not a workplace subject. We don't want to talk about that. And so many of us, organizations, managers, employees alike, are prone to just sit there and say, it's just a better topic not to discuss. And yet, by not discussing it, we're making these things more likely. It's so much healthier of an approach to say, okay, what are we actually afraid of? And now how can we build friendships that help protect the workplace, help protect the relationships, and help minimize the chances of these things happening? For example, if I have a friendship and I'm the boss, and I am scared of reprimanding or having to fire them at some point, what could we do in that situation? And I could do a whole video on each of these. But just as an example, what would it look like if we actually trained for and said, okay, so here's some healthy things to do before the situation arises, while we're still good, while we don't have to fire each other. Let's sit down and say, what's the worst case fear for you with me being your boss? Or what's the worst fear for me reporting to you? What would be the things that could upset us or be hard for our friendship to go through? If I ever did have to reprimand you, how would you like me to do it? What would feel better to you in that situation? If I ever needed you to tell me this, or if I felt like you weren't listening here, or if I felt like you were avoiding me here, or if I felt like you were doing this, what would you want me to do? Wouldn't it be amazing to actually train for and practice the healthiest relationships possible in our workplaces? And know that the more we teach these skills, the better our employees have friendships with each other, the better we're showing up and feeling like we're belonging and practicing the very things that build healthy relationships. Those are the exact same skills that help us turn around and have healthier relationships in our home life. This exact same skills that we can turn around and have better relationships with our customers, better customer service, with our sales clients, with anybody that we're trying to do our business with. I am so excited that if we could actually be bringing better relationship skills to the place where we do the most interaction with relationships, we could truly change so much in this world. And so I'm so excited for doing this series, for my upcoming book, The Business of Friendships, Making the Most of Our Relationships, where we spend most of our time. Pre-order the book, subscribe to this channel, leave your comments, your ideas, your questions in this video. And I am so looking forward to just having a whole bunch of videos that are teaching a whole bunch of different ways that we can build better skills, minimize our fears, and show up at work ready to not only make the biggest contribution, our skills and our strengths and our mission and the things we want to do in this world, but do it with people that we enjoy being around, feel safe being around, and actually want to collaborate with. It can be good, I promise.